Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Tonight we're going to take a look at the Straw Harvest. It's not really a DLC, it's a mod. It was originally a DLC for 17. People are calling it a DLC, but it's not. It's a mod. I'm going to have a little rant about this first. And oh, jeez, hold on. Maybe this will be fair. Maybe it'll be unfair. This came out for 17. It was a DLC in 17, and it cost $20. And I had so many people tell me when I reviewed this product that, oh, it's not worth it and blah, blah, blah. And now people are all like, it's the best thing ever and it's the greatest thing ever. And it kind of ticks me off a little bit because this is an excellent, excellent product. And to be honest with you, it still should have been a payware DLC. This is great work from the authors that did it. Now, we're going to find out how it works in 19, but in 17, it was an extraordinarily good DLC. That was $20. And I come from a background of World of Tanks, World of Warships, where a single tank costs $50, $40. $20 is nothing for a bunch of equipment and game-changing equipment and crops. So I got pretty frustrated back then because people were just so down on this product because it was $19. Now it's free and it's the greatest thing ever. Well, it still remains a great product, and it's, I love this. This is excellent stuff. So tonight we're going to take a look at it. We're going to go through and review it, but there's really no point in reviewing it because it's free. You guys can review it for yourselves, but this is going to be more of a tutorial kind of showing how the equipment works, the different things that come with the pack. And I want to share with you that this is really excellent. And honestly, it's great that it's free, but it definitely is worth something. I mean, they put a lot of effort into this, and the conversion looks great. Everything looks wonderful, and they've done a good job bringing it over to 19. But it has some very unique features that I want to make sure that you guys don't miss as you're playing around with it. So let's go ahead and get started. I think what most people would consider the highlight of this pack is the Primos 5000. This is a very high power device. You need, I think, at least a 350, if not 400 horsepower tractor to run this. Let's take a look in the shop. It's under Baling technology. And so here it is. Wait, no, that's there it is. 350. Yeah, that was correct. And this makes both straw pellets and hay pellets. Now, what people do in real life is they take those pellets. They have these wood-burning fireplaces that have a pellet-burning fireplace that has a little conveyor belt in it. They dump the pellets into the front of the fireplace and then run the conveyor belt. They can turn the conveyor belt speed up or down, and it'll bring the pellet up into the fireplace and drop it. Now, that's single pellet burning, and the pellets are, I want to say, the size of a Blistex container. Like if you ever use like the Vaseline containers, or like a they're small, maybe like they're about 2 to 3 inches long and about a half an inch across. That's what a pellet looks like. And these pellets will burn for about 4 or 5 minutes a piece. And but you set that conveyor so that it keeps dropping like 2 or 3 pellets, and so it's like drop, drop, and that keeps your fireplace going, and in turn heats your house. So this is basically a machine that makes fuel pellets, and we have a whole system that comes with this DLC that allows you to create those pellets. You can either sell the pellets directly from the Primos, you can dump it into a tipper and sell it, or you can package them at the factory that they give you and sell those pallets. There's pallets full of packages, and we're going to go ahead and do that tonight. You'll get to see all of that. This is going to be a fairly in-depth review, though, so prepare, get some popcorn, get some, Coca-Cola. We're going to sit down and have a good look at how this DLC works because there's a lot to it. So just be prepared. I tend to be long-winded, and this is the case tonight. That's not going to change. So if you're into a 5-minute video, you're not going to find that here. Enjoy detail. So first of all, let's walk around it. This is really cool. There's like the device that kind of crushes them into pellets. And in the back end here, we have the tray where the pellets go once they're made. And you'll see them in process when we're doing this. I've got a couple Fendt tractors back here ready to go to take this out onto the field and process straw directly into pellets. Now, this device can also be used to power your factory. So if you don't want to drive this on the field, you can buy what's this device here. This is basically a folding or work table that connects to the side of the Primos, and you can bring square bales into the facility and set them onto this using a crane, and it'll feed into the Primos, and then the Primos will dump its pellets into the factory. So I'll show you that setup too. But there's a second way to use this. You don't have to use this in the field. However, you still are going to need a 350 horsepower tractor to power it. So you're not getting away with anything really. But it's interesting that they have this. To me, it's faster to make the pellets in the field. But then again, this thing only runs about 4 or 5 miles per hour, I think, top speed. So you're going to be running really slowly. You have to be patient with it. Now, the next things, these are maybe like lesser devices that are in the game, but or in the DLC, but they're still really cool devices. So what we have here, we have 2 different big packs. One of them is set up as a standard square baler, just like we have in the game. Thing that makes this different from the regular in-game balers is that we actually have to service it. So we have, where are they? Where's my other pallet? Here it is. Nope. Hang on a second, folks. This is what I was looking for, and I hadn't bought it. We have twine. Now, these rolls of twine get loaded into the baler. So this is actually something that's pretty cool. You actually service the balers. And so you'll notice, though, that this one's a little bit different in that it has a weird chute coming out the back. I mean, they both do, but where this gate is missing. Now, what this does is this attaches to this device. This is what we call an accumulator or bale collect. This puts 3 bales in a row together. This is a really cool device. To me, this is almost as cool as the Primos because we have a whole system now. You get 3 bales in a row on the field, and it puts it in packets of 3. And if you guys remember back when Mr. Micah and I did the Estancia La Pacha videos for 17, we used this, and it was a big hit. People that watched it were like, wow, that's really cool. I think this is one of the coolest pieces of equipment in the pack, and it comes along with these over here. Okay, so all of these, this, and this, all 3 of these are designed to pick up 3 bales at once. So you put these over the top of the bales, those hooks go into the bales, and then you lift them up and set them on a trailer. So you can, oh, there it is. There's my twine. You can grab 3 bales at a time and set them on a trailer. Now, for those of you that use autoloader trailers and stuff like that, this is not a big deal, but I kind of have an aversion to that. For those of you that know my channel, I'm pretty picky, and I like to hand load stuff. I think that the autoloaders are cheating. That's just my personal opinion. It's not. Don't read too much into it. I prefer to hand load stuff. So to me, this was a really cool thing because I could use a front loader or these guys to load 3 bales at a time. And we'll go ahead and put that into use in the field. You get to see how that works. And you can stack a really high trailer with that. It makes the stacking much neater when you can do 3 at a time. Now, these are for this device. We have something that nobody ever uses. I never see anybody using the Arcusan. This stacks 3 bales high. Instead of along the side on the ground, they're stacked 3 high. In fact, we should buy one of these, and we'll show you using that. But that's not part of the pack, but this is what that's for. These pick up 3 bales that are stacked on top of each other. So that gives you those also. So you have those, you have these. And then last but not least, you have this little Krone round baler. Same thing as the big one. It's completely serviceable, and we'll show you. I'll service it so you can see. That uses wrapped, you're going to get wrap bales with Krone tape on them. So they actually look different than the in-game bales, and we're going to buy an in-game round baler just to prove a point so you guys can see the difference what the 2 bales look like. So we'll go ahead and do that. And now, this is the next piece of the pie. Now, there's 3 versions of this in the pack. There's one that's just a haul. There's one that's a haul with a crane, and one that is a haul with a crane and the stacking facility. And once again, so cool. I mean, it's really well done. There's no question about it. This is free, guys. I can't believe this is free. To me, this is incredibly amazing that you can get this for free. It kind of frustrates me a little bit. You can operate the crane from here. I will mess around with the crane a little bit. I don't do well with those controls. We'll see how they set it up. Hopefully they made it a little bit more intuitive. In 17, the crane was terrible. I never used it. So you got a light switch. Lights come on, which is cool. Over here, you have an area for, if you've used your Primos to make pellets, you can put your pellets into these hoppers. You just come back in with a tipper and you dump the pellets in. You then use this crane to load the pellets into the device, and the pellets come up in here. They get loaded into these sacks, and then that gets cut and put on here, and the sacks come up here, and they get loaded onto a pallet. There's the pallets right there. And then the pallet comes out and sits here, and I think you can get up to 4 pallets on here. You then have to load those onto a trailer. My suggestion to you, and once again, if the crane works well, we'll see. We'll test it out and see how it does. But if the crane doesn't work well, just get a shovel, a bucket for your, this is a good place to use one of those New Holland or JCB skid steers. So you're going to use a skid steer to come over here and scoop up stuff and dump it in here. And then once it's done making the pallets, you're going to use that same skid steer to bring the pallets either outside to load onto a truck, or in here if you have a small trailer that you're going to load up with pallets, you can load it here. But this is the hall where all the magic happens. Now, I haven't made roads out to the road. You can see here I just kind of plopped this down. One word of advice, though. This was very fussy to place. I had a hard time finding a spot to put this. I wanted to put it down there on that flat ground over there, and it wouldn't let me. And about 2/3 of this field was not acceptable for it. It would not let me put it anywhere on this field. So that was kind of annoying. Also, the cost of the haul is expensive. It's about $400,000. So you're going to be working or taking a loan out to buy this. So beware of that. But it was a little bit fussy for placement. So you might need to go in with a tool and completely flatten the ground before you buy this. It wasn't easy to place. And I was a little bit disappointed with that. So we're going to make hay over here. You cannot turn grass into pallets, but you can turn hay into pallets. So we're going to have to make some hay. I'll be working on that in the background. But then last but not least, over here we have our sell point. So you can place this anywhere on the map. If you want to make it realistic, put it by a market or something like that. And you come over here and put you can see here, hay is actually worth more than the straw. So if you're going to make pellets, obviously, straw is really easy because it comes out of the butt end of a harvester. You just get it. With hay, though, you have to mow, you have to ted, and then you have to windrow. So that make it a little bit more difficult. Now, this would be a good thing in seasons. It'd be interesting to see how this works. Because you can get a couple harvests of grass in seasons. So this DLC might work in conjunction with seasons well. It might make you want to grow grass and make, because the grass, if it sits out, it'll become hay. But there's still a lot of work that's involved. You can see anyway, the hay is worth more than the straw pellets for whatever reason. I don't know if they burn better, but they do definitely require more effort. So, but there's the sell point, and all you do is just bring your pallets over here, or you can also dump a tipper over here to sell them. I think it causes the map to also accept it at some of the sell facilities. So let's take a look here. Now, this map has a lot of extra, so it might take me a second to find it. There they are. They are not accepted anywhere. Hang on, let's see. You can sell them at the pallet sell point. Yeah, okay, so you can only sell these at the pallet sell point. So, anyway, there is that. And I almost forgot. What's this for? Well, this is molasses, and the molasses goes into our Krone Primos. This also will require water, so you're going to have a water trailer or a water source to fill this up with. So just be aware that you will need a water trailer, and you'll also need these molasses things. Now, in the shop, and I wanted to show you this too, you don't have to do the manual loading. If you don't want to do manual loading, there's an upgrade for each of these devices. So if I want to go and I want to buy a Comprima, but I don't want to have to load the nets into it, I want it to always be loaded, I then can go here and select automatic loading. See that? It's got a bale in it, or a roll in it. Now, if you buy that $10,000 piece, you never have to load these. They'll just auto-load. So there is that. Once again, it makes it more like just the ones in the game. And once again, you can make this automatic, $10,000. Same thing for the Primos. You don't have to fill it with molasses and water. You can just do automatic. But I think it's kind of fun to load them. I don't know. It's up to you. If you want to deal with the pallets and stuff, that's cool. I would recommend one thing. I would recommend the CSZ set, which I don't think I loaded this time. I'm going to load it. We're going to pause and load it. The CSZ pack is basically a whole bunch of new front loader parts, and the CSZ pack, and let's load it. Hang on. You know, while we're out here, I'm going to show you where to get these. You're going to go in your menu. You're going to go to mods. And once again, this is on PC. This is not available yet for console users, so don't get mad at me. I'm just the messenger. Under package is where you find the Straw Harvest add-on. Okay. I believe the CSZ set's also in here. It's really easy to find. But if it's not in here, it'll be under packages, I believe. It's everywhere, though. CSZ is like in every category. So we're going to go back here. Let's look under front loaders. Skid steer. It'll be in any of these. Nope. Of course not. Front loaders. There we go. Here's the CSZ equipment pack right there. So you want to make sure you install that. And that is, once again, it has all this extra. See all this stuff here? It's got all that stuff in it, but it's much better. It's just easy to use. We'll take a look here. So we loaded this CSZ pack. And once again, I do recommend hand in hand. These are going to work well together. And this is the reason why. First of all, you have all these different bucket sizes for all kinds of different equipment. And then you also have, and this is my favorite, we have a forklift that's adjustable. And where is it? Where are the pallet forks? There they are. And these work for the tractors, telehandlers, and front loaders, but they're adjustable. And I'll show you that. So the Straw Harvest pack has its own custom pallets. They can be a little bit wonky to pick up. So this makes it a lot easier if you have these, So I recommend the CSZ pack, and we'll take a look at that. So we're going to prep a baler to go out. And you can see here, this is what I was talking about. These are a little bit narrower and smaller, these pallets, than the standard pallets in the game. And that's where you see the forks are set at normal. And look how wide they are. So here, this is nice. This is why I like the CSZ pack. I can put those a little bit narrower. And now I can go ahead and grapple this device. Now, this is weird. This won't go any lower. All right, so we're going to slide in underneath there. And voila. No problems whatsoever. So we're going to go ahead and meet our tractor over here. These tractors are kind of overkill for that baler, but we're going to start off by demoing our round baler because that's the smallest piece of equipment, probably the fastest for us to get through. We'll load that there. Now, can we pick these up? I wonder what these allow us to do. Well, we'll see. It's been a while since I've done this, so I got the menu open so I can see what the options are. So let's go ahead and grab this big honking tractor for our little tiny baler and get this out there. Once again, we'll also run a side-by-side comparison with the regular baler so you can see what the difference is with the wrap bales. I believe these also give you different size options. Now, that's not something that's totally new, but it says you first need to fill the tools. So let's bring it over here. And we're going to open the bale net door. There it is. And I don't think we load it this way. I think that we actually have to go in here and be next to it. Oops. And if we're next to our pallet and we press the button, left button refills the baler. There we go. So we put 3 rolls in there. See that? There's all 3 of them. You see 2 of them. I can't really get, hang on, let's see if I can get down there. And yeah, you can only see 2, but there's 3 in there. There's a 3rd one back behind. So cool. And then we can just set this back down again, and when we need more, we can bale more. So let's go ahead and pop that down. Come on. Let go. See, these pallets can be a little bit touchy. That's why I use the carriage free, but it's not quite letting go yet. So there we go. And the we've managed to keep it upright. All right, so let's go ahead out on the field with this baler and take a look and see how it does. Now, once again, you have several bale sizes to pick from on the round baler. I don't think the square baler allows you to change sizes, but the round baler does. So it's pretty cool. Oh, yeah. It's a little crowded here at the shop. Just shove that thing around until they bend the... Anyway, let's get out there. So let's go ahead and make each bale size, one of each. We're currently at, it looks like 1-0. All right, so we're ready to dump that out. It's full. There's the little 1-0 bale. Now, I don't know how the equipment's going to handle it. That's going to be an interesting thing to see how our pickup devices handle. If we do it by hand, it should stay that size. But are we going to have issues with things like the Anderson? You're probably going to work with Anderson. So let's do a 1-3-0. Okay. That looks about the standard size, right? There's a 155. That's larger than the standard bale, I'm pretty sure. And then we have, what's next? 180, I think is the largest. Yeah, 180. Let's go ahead and do that. And it'll be more than 4,000, so that's where we're going to see the difference. We may have to go around and grab some more. There we go, 47.5. Oh, so close. Darr! It's so close. So I think the 130 is our standard size. We're going to grab a little bit off this right here. This should be enough to put it over the edge. Oh, it's not grabbing it. Really? Oh. I meant to do that. Okay. So there's our 100%. And we'll put that next to our bale here so you can just see the difference in size. There's a big bale. Now that's, you know, honestly, around here, this is the size bale that I see mostly. They're bigger than people. And you can see here the wrap pattern on here is different. This is, you know, and we're gonna grab the standard baler so you can see the difference. Okay, so I've taken the New Holland baler over here and made a round bale. Default, that's what it looks like. Now you can see it does have netting on it still. It's just white netting. That's versus the Krone netting. Bales are the same size. So this is the 1.30. That's the size. You got, once again, you have 110, 130, 155 down there, and then 180. These are really cool bales. So once again, these are 6,000 liters. These are 4,000 liters, I believe, is what the game goes by. But that's what we're looking at. So one thing I want to test real quick, we're going to grab an Anderson pickup trailer and see how it does with these weird size bales. I'll be right back. All right, so here we have our test subjects. I've got my 300 with a little Ursus trailer. Oh. All right, so that's my wife. We have our test subject here, and the first one is the Ursus one that, once again, they don't have autoloaders in this game for round balers. You have to download them through the mods. The Anderson one that's to our right there, the RMB 2000, that is part of the Anderson pack. It has to be purchased. However, this Ursus T127 is available in the mod hub for free under Baling technology. So I decided to use this one too because I know a lot of you will be using that rather than the Anderson one. Let's see what this does. Well, I picked it up, and it kept it the same size. It's floating, but it's working. Now, we know that the stock one will pick up, but I want to do it next to one of these. I'm also interested to see how the mixed size bales work. Like, will it pick up the mixed size bales? Okay, so that works. So you can see that, the different sizes. And let's go ahead and grab this one here. Okay, so that larger bale is not supported. Whoops, almost knocked it over. Let's go ahead and see how this guy does, the mid-size bale here. I would imagine this one probably is not supported either because it's going to be too large for our picker upper. But maybe it will. Nope. So the two larger bales, the 155 and the 180, are going to have to be hand-loaded. They will not load onto these loading trailers. The smaller two do. The 130 and the 110 work. So let's go ahead and unload this, and we'll try it again with the Anderson trailer and see what gets picked up and what doesn't. Okay, so we've got our Anderson trailer loaded and ready to go with the big tractor. And we're going to go ahead and see what picks up here and what doesn't. Definitely picks up the 130. Definitely picks up the 110. Obviously, it's going to pick up our standard bale. Can the Anderson handle these weird larger sizes? Now, maybe somebody will come up with a mod trailer that's a little bit wider that can handle these larger bales. I'm going to say no, though. I mean, most definitely it's not going to work. Let's see. Nope. And we'll try the 150, but I think that we're going to get the same result. And of course not. But the good news is that the regular size 130 bale, which with the netting, does work with our Anderson equipment. So you'll be able to still use your loading trailers as long as you make the bales smaller or standard size. You'll be able to use these loading wagons. And this Anderson is a godsend for those of you that have the DLC. You'll know what I'm talking about. It is a real big help. So. We've tested that out. So let's go ahead and move on to the square balers, and we will try those out. All right, folks. So the next thing that we're going to look at is the big baler. And I'm going to skip the operation of the regular big baler with the regular output because it's the same as any other square baler. There's no point in going over that. It's the same. But we are going to use the accumulator with our big baler because that's where it's different than the other balers in the game. So let's go ahead and grab our baler, and we're going to have to set it up. So once again, we're going to have to load twine into this. For those of you that have seen a real baler, they do load twine. So we're going to have to open the hatch and load some twine in. Let's go ahead and grab this. And once we go to bale, it'll actually attach fully to the device. Right now it's going to be a little wonky. Go ahead and open our menu to see how we load the twine boxes. Bale unload the mode X, X, X. We'll get there. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is lower the twine boxes. So, oh, weird. I don't know what the bale and load mode does. That's new. We'll have to try that out and see what it does. So that lowers our twine boxes. And in real life, you would actually place the twine. See that? Isn't that cool? All the twine goes in there. You can have stores in there, and then you also put it inside the harvester. But they load these up in real life. And then when they're out in the field, they can change them out without having to go back in. Let's go ahead and get our twine. I don't know. You might have to buy a couple pallets worth, though. Let's see how this does. We're going to grab our twine box. So once again, this might work better with a regular front loader. This guy doesn't put it down all the way, which is a little bit weird. Okay, we got that. So once again, if you don't want the tedium of loading them by hand, you can always buy them with the manual or the automatic option. Then you never have to do this. I kind of like it, though. I think it's an interesting way to make the game unique. It's different. So we're going to refill the baler. Yeah, see, and that, we didn't even fill it up all the way. It's got 72%, so you actually need 2 or 3 pallets on hand. So we're going to go ahead and lift the twine boxes, and we're going to head over to our field and start using this baler. So let's head on over. All right, so we've arrived at our field. Let's go ahead and run the standard XXX mode. We're going to unfold the baler first. And so here's what happens. So you can see the accumulator is going to attach to the back of the baler. So it's ready to go. And then now we can turn the baler on. And I don't think we have to turn the accumulator on. I think it just does it automatically. So let's go ahead and start making some bales. You can see the operation here. The baler is really going there. It's twining our product. There's our first bale. Second bale. And it should automatically dump the bales off. There's the first one. Look, they look different, don't they? You can actually see the twine on the bales. There's our second bale coming out. And the third bale. And it's going to dump these out. Wait till you see. There it goes. There they go. So we're going to stop for a second. And let's take a look and see what's different. Yep, these look totally different than this is all new texture. Look how nice and neatly they're packed. Now, this is what people talk about. The straw and the hay get packed together. You can see those ridges. As it compresses them, it makes ridges. And I guess Krone is known for like really tightly compact straw. So, but you can see here they're in a row, and that plays in later. So we're gonna take a look at our loading stuff, and this will be cool. All right, so we got that going. Now let's go ahead and try the other two modes in here. We have our X blank mode. I wonder how that's gonna work. To me, that seems like it'll just dump one bale off in a row. Yep, and that's what it does. Okay. So then the other mode is side X's. I don't know why you'd want to do that. But this should put them to the sides and then dump them off. There it goes. And once again, it'll do it again. So once we're change that again here. Let's see if it stops it from doing that weirdness. I don't know why you'd want to set them like that, but I guess, there must be some reason why farmers would want. Maybe if they don't want to pick them all up in a group, maybe it's easier for their pickup equipment to pick up. They can do two at a time. But to me, it seems like if you're going to buy this setup, you're going to be wanting to use all three in a row. So I'm going to run down the field for a little bit and make a couple more of these groupings. And we'll go from there. All right, so that brings us to the next part. Once we have gotten the bales in groups of 3 like this, we can then take them and load them onto a trailer by grabbing them. And we use this device on our telehandler or front loader or wheel loader. Once again, we have devices for all 3 of those. And we put this on here, and we're going to do that. And we can pick up all 3 at once, and then we can just nicely set this on a trailer or on the back of a small truck, like if you're using your, let's say we got a Mercedes-Benz, Unimog with a trailer. We can use this to load the bales onto that trailer nice and neat, and it makes it much easier to stack them. I really like this device. To me, this was one of the most fun parts of it, was to be able to neatly load bales in groups of 3. You could get a trailer loaded pretty quickly by hand. Now, if you're using an auto pickup wagon, there's really no point in doing this, but this is a really nice device. Now, let's say we stack these, and we're going to show you how to do the other thing. So hang on 1 second, folks. So we're going to use this device. Now, there's a reason why I never use this thing. This comes in the game. It's a pain in the butt to use. It's a neat device, but it's just not easy to use. I'll make sure we get, let's see, transporting position. What controls operating position? And this picks up 3 bales and stacks them. That's what our other device is for. So we're going to turn this in. There's our first square bale. And come over here. This is our second square bale. You can see, now I got it that first time. It made it look easy, but if you don't get the bales exact, no, it looks like they fixed it, though. This seems a lot easier than it used to be. I used to have all kinds of problems collecting these bales. I just want to show you this in operation, though, so you can see what we do with the other trailer. Or the other grabber. There, I screwed up. Once that happens, it's really hard to get this bale picked up. You have to kind of back up. And it's not easy doing this. But it stacks them nicely in groups of 3, once again. This time, though, they're vertical. So you're not going to use that attachment. You'll use the other attachment. I'll show you which one I'm talking about. So now we can take these and we can unload these bales. And it makes a nice stack of 3. There we go. So now look what you can do with this. All right, so we are here with the 3 bale picker-upper, and once again, this is what this is for. And there are other devices in the game like this. This is just something that, but it's nice to have a set. I think it's Y. There we go. And we can pick these up and trot them around, load them onto a trailer. So you have 2 different ways to do it. You can either do it vertical like this or horizontal like that. I honestly prefer the other way better. These are a little bit harder to handle, and that Arcusin can drive you crazy. But you know, you have this option, so this is pretty cool. Once again, you can stack them, yak them. You can put them on the baler trailer and load them up, or you can just use a single bale and use an auto loader, which is probably the easiest way to go, honestly. All this fancy stuff, but anyway, it gives you a couple different options. This is all part of that Straw Harvest DLC, and that's why I'm kind of going through it. A lot of you probably won't end up using some of these things, but I wanted to show you it's there so that you can use it if you want, adding some realism and different gameplay to the game. So I think these things get overlooked, but I think they're really neat. Just wanted to point out I'm making some grass bales for later on in our demonstration, and look at the ridges on those bales. I mean, that's so much more detailed, and such. They're more ridgy. My wife's making fun of me. Look at the details, though. That is really cool. Like a totally new bale type. That's so cool. All right, folks. So we're getting ready to take the Primos out now. We've seen all the different things that the balers do. So we're gonna bring molasses up next to the baler, and we're gonna fill it up. I believe this also needs water, but maybe it doesn't. Let's see. It's filled up with molasses, so I'd still saying you need to fill the tool, so we do need to get water. Now, I've put a water station on my field, just kind of plopped it out there. So let's go ahead and grab that. Ouch. And let's see if we can... I don't know if it can pull it straight from the source or if you have to have a tanker. The tap's on the other side. Oh, there's a tap on that side. Will it fill it? Oh, yeah. So you can fill it right from a water source, which is good. You don't have to have a tanker. So we'll fill that up. Very quickly fills it up. And let's go ahead and start. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make pellets in the field, because I want you to see how that works. I'm going to turn the harvester on. We're going to lower it, and we're going to go ahead and put the cruise control on. I believe, once again, 6 miles an hour is the top speed, which is... what happened here? Why did it shut off? That was weird. We grabbed straw pellets like 1%, and then it shut off. Okay, now it's working. Why does it keep shutting off? Are we going too fast? No, there we go. Now it's working. That was weird. I don't know why it kept shutting off, but now it's working. So you can see if we look real close, you can see the little pellets. So this device is pulling the straw up off the ground and chopping it up. And whatever those rollers are, they crush it up. And when it comes out the other side of the rollers, you have pellets. And we're going to do a load of each, and then we're going to put them in our barn. Now, I will recommend when you get a tipper, make sure you get a smaller tipper. The issue with this device is that even though it has an offloading pipe, it's not very tall. So you're going to run into an issue with some of the tippers being too high for this for it to be able to reach this. Oh, it did it again. I think what's happening is the ends of this area has too much straw, and it's getting overwhelmed. So you got to watch how much you put in. There we go. So if we go slow, we're able to get it, but I think it's shutting off because that end had too much in it. So you see here it's slowly filling in a very weird way. I would also recommend, if you get tippers, Make sure you get the type that are not dolly type, but that are actually direct bar, and I'll show you what I mean. You don't want to have like a wagon style because it's going to be really hard to back it into the facility. You want to have ones that are well, I'll show you. You'll see in a sec here. All right, so I finished that line. We now have a full hopper, and so we're going to need to offload that into a tipper. This is the tipper that I recommend right here. I had this over on the other field, but we're going to fill this up with straw pellets, and then we'll fill it up with grass pellets. But see, you can see here, this does not have the dolly style wheels. When I say dolly style, this is what I'm talking about. Like this tipper, for example, the HW80, or the other AgroLiner tipper, the HKD. That's the dolly style, and that's going to be pretty difficult to back up in a nice straight line. These are easier. You could use this Joskin. I believe the trans space will fit underneath, but just. So let's go ahead and take this over, and I'll show you what I mean. All right, so you can see here, this tipper is about the right size for this device, and you can't really get much larger than that. Even the light on my Fendt tractors, because I have a big tractor, is getting in the way. And we got to get underneath that. Oops. Stop. And so we're filling up our tipper with pellets. Basically printing money. Now, you can sell these pellets directly, but you'll make a lot more money if you palletize them. So it's always worth doing if you have the pallet factory, it's a good idea to palletize them. You don't have to, but it is a great idea. Now, if you don't have the $400,000 to buy the pallet factory, well, then, obviously just sell these directly. You're going to make more money than you will with regular straw bales. So we've arrived here at the barn, at the facility, and we're going to separate this stuff out. I'm going to drive into the ditch. We're going to put these straw pellets in one of these bunkers. This is what I was talking about. Backing that other kind of trailer in here would be a nightmare. So this makes it a little bit easier. Just a little bit, though. Now, this is where this would actually work really well on a multiplayer farm, because you could have one person running the facility while somebody else is out bringing the pellets in. So we've dumped that there. Let's go ahead and grab some grass or hay pellets, because once again, the hay pellets are the ones that are more valuable by double almost. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the Primos and bring it over here, and we're going to make some hay pellets. All right, so we're over here on our grass field, and I'm taking these hay pellets. So once again, we had to mow, we had to ted it, then we had to windrow it, and now we're collecting it. So there is more process that goes on here than the straw pellets, but in the long run, they're worth double. So you are doubling your workload, because with the straw, you just take a harvester and harvest the crop off the field. As long as you're doing oats, wheat, or barley, you're going to end up being able to make pellets. Here you actually have to work for it. However, the nice thing about the grass, even though there's more work involved, grass regrows for free, so you can just constantly turn around and make pellets and not have to keep replanting your field. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind. Even though there's more work from a gathering standpoint, there's less work because you don't have to keep replanting and cultivating and seeding and fertilizing the field. It's done for you for the most part. So all right, I'm going to go ahead and fill up the hopper, and then we will take a load of this over to our factory and dump it. And then I'm going to gather bales off the field, square, both hay and straw, and we'll put those through the machine too. I'll show you how to use the Primos in the factory, which is one of the options that they've given us to do. So I'll be back. Okay, I have gotten done with that hopper, and we're going to come over here with our tipper and empty it. Now, I keep dumping these into the factory, but you really could get probably 2 or 3. I think it's 9,000 versus 20. So you could get about 2.5 loads or hopperfuls into this tipper. Once again, I believe the Joskin will also fit underneath here. That might be a better option. But you can see here how low this is. If you can't really go much higher than this tipper. If you get a tall tipper, you're going to be in trouble. So, all right. So we'll run this over to the factory once we're full up here, and I'll see you in just a minute. All right. So we're backing this big guy in, and the neighbors are already beeping at us. Excuse me, just trying to do my work. Saw that coming a mile away. Okay. You might want to use a slightly smaller tractor for this too. I mean, heck, even that smaller tipper, there's not a ton of room in here for big stuff. That's why the Joskin might not be a great deal, because it might be too big for this garage. You might do better with that the very first trailer in the game and a small tractor to move it. Once again, though, that's where having 2 people playing this would probably be helpful. Now, you do have to do force dump, which is both bumpers and Y. You can't just do a regular dumping maneuver. This doesn't see those as dumping spots. So, all right, so we got those 2 in there. So let's go ahead and move this out. And I'm going to go ahead and collect some bales, both grass and straw, off the field, and I'll see you back here in just a minute. Now, I should point out that the Primos harvester, not Primos, Primos harvester does not do round bales. So don't bother bringing round bales into the barn. You will not be able to use them. It does square bales only. So we're going to grab just a couple, maybe like 6 or 7 of them here, and we're going to put them into our barn. But just be aware that you cannot do round bales in the chopper. So you have to use square bales. So just a little heads up there. Now, I would say when you're loading bales into this facility, using the Anderson bale dropper, the one that I'm using right now, is probably the only one that you could use in here because it lays the bales out too high. If you get a 16 high bale stack, you will definitely not be able to use the crane to get the bales into the hopper. I'm trying to get these to dump off. They're not. I mean, well, but even then, it would be way too high. That did not work. It doesn't work well. So you're probably going to want to hand load those in with a flatbed. Oh, that's all stuck. So let's see if we can pull that off with our crane. We haven't used the crane yet, so let's see how this goes. E, enter vehicle. E. Toggle crane tool, X. Okay. Wait, you can't use a joystick for this? Oh, they didn't. They did. Okay, no, you can use the joystick. Okay. Up, down, and this pivots. Okay. Now how do I move it back and forth? That's it. Left stick moves it back and forth. Okay, so we can go over here, though we can't see what we're doing. Is there a different camera angle? No. Oh, wow. This is a little hokey. How do we... Right stick open and close. Up and down. Left and right. That opens it. Ah, okay. What about this? Okay, so no. So we're going to lower that down. And I can't see anything. How do we control the camera on this angle? Is there... Oops. Nope. X under vehicle. Okay, is this the camera controls? Select camera, right stick. Ah, oh, much better. Okay, there we go. So, oh, there's a camera here too. There's several camera angles. That one's not going to work. So we're going to move this way, and we're going to pivot that around and lower it. Okay, this does work better than the original, so I will give it that. So you might want to just use a regular bale trailer and use your other bale tools to bring these in. And then we're going to do those together to close it. There we go. Oh, and it's got it. Perfect. Okay, so then perfect. And we can take this over here, and we'll hold on. We're just going to leave that in the machine for now. There it goes. It held it. Cool. So I'm going to go grab the grass bales, and I'll be back. Once again, this is pretty hokey. I think you're going to want to actually bring it in with a small tipper or small flat trailer like that. Let's see, like this. You might want to just stack like 10 bales on here and then bring them in that way. I think that's, for the size of the facility and stuff, that's probably going to be the best way to do it. If you could use the crane, or you could use, like a little JCB like I've got in there to unload them. But it seems like using the auto loader is making a mess. I mean, it's working, but it's making a bit of a mess. I don't know. It's up to you, I guess. But you can see the potentials there to do it all kinds of different ways. I think that using this is kind of making a messy situation for us. It's not really helping much. So, all right. So we have one test that I just ran. I did a bunch of work and came back here. I want to see if this bale was still being held, and it is. That's good. Let's go ahead and jump in here, and we're going to move our crane back over this way. Now, it'll probably take me a little while to get used to these controls, but I will get the hang of it. They're not bad. So now we're going to toggle the mode, which I got to figure out which button that is. Toggle crane mode. How do we do it with this? A. Oh. What is that? I'm not sure what that does. Maybe this is a bale picker upper. Is that what that's supposed to do? And maybe it can pick up several bales at a time. I don't... How wide does it open? Not very wide. Huh. Interesting. So that probably really is to pick up bales. It's a little too tight. There we go. That's a little better. It's not freaking out now. I would imagine that that's what that's for. Okay. So I just want to try this out before we get started. So we're going to open that back up and dump it. And then we're going to, and then we're going to do A. That's what the mode that we want right now. So we're going to start the machine. And what we're going to do then is we're going to bring this over here and rotate it a little bit and then drop it. And we're going to get a nice juicy load of pellets. Oops. Once again, my crane operating skills are not going to be great, so just be patient with me as I... Depends on the camera angle too, which is a little bit awkward. Okay. And I want to put that down. That's as low as it goes. Really? Oh, maybe because it's on the pile, that's as low as it'll drop it. There we go. So we got a full load of pellets. And then we can raise it. And I'm going to move the camera over here because I think that's where it makes the most sense. This has got to go up. Yeah, struggling. Okay, there we go. That raises it. And we're going to move this over here. Hold on. I know. He's going to bark. Sorry, there's people working. They're replacing they're putting fiber optic out in my yard. And so what's happening is the dog is going crazy. I apologize for that. I've got my door closed, but there we go. So it's in process, and we're going to get another couple scoopfuls. Now, as you work with this, I'm sure you'll get better at it and get faster at it. I personally don't love doing the crane stuff. To me, it's faster just to use like a skid steer to load this stuff. But it's cool that it works. Go up. Don't spin, just go up. There we go. And you can see there, it's making the pallets already. And we're going to open this up. And go back for another shovelful. And hold on a second here. Close that up. Okay, I'm getting better at it. Like I said, it'll just take some time to get used to. My wife says I'm not, but I am. What does she know? I'm doing great. So once again, you don't have to when you have the pellets already made, you don't have to have the Primos in the shop. You can just bring the pellets into the shop and dump them off. One person can dump them off. You have 3 people working. One person working the machine, one person working the pellet maker, and one person delivering the pellets back and forth to the factory. Seems to be a good way to do it. You could even have a 4th person taking the pallets off the rack. Now, I don't know. I don't think we can we dump this in here while it's got other stuff in it? It may not let us do it. Oh, it does. Look at that. Okay, so it switches that over to straw pellets. We'll do one more scoop, just for good measure. So, like I said, in the 17 version, this never worked very well, but this is working pretty well here, and so I'm glad they got it straightened out. And whoa, it's a little bit hokey. And we're gonna go ahead and open that up. Ta-da! So let's hop out and take a look at our production. Right now, we're still producing the hay pellets. And you can see they're going to come out on a pallet here. Now, I'm not sure what happens if you don't have a full pallet. Like if it just puts it out like half full, or, you know, how does this thing handle switching back and forth? Maybe it has to do a full pallet first before it'll switch types. I think our straw just dumped on top, so it's saying that the fill level is still at 17% with about 5 more minutes of production here before it comes out. We got a total of 45 bags. That's really cool, so it gives you all these stats. There's our first pallet, and we can either leave that on or take it off. Hold on one second. All right. See, now my argument here is that you're already going to have one of these in the facility, so why wouldn't you just use this to load the shovelfuls? It's much faster, but I don't know. Oh, and here's the problem. So we are going to have to get a front loader. This is not heavy enough. Dang. Look at that. The pallets are just too heavy for this. So we do need a larger. That was good to find out. We need a larger machine. I can't believe this can't lift off 2,000 liters. That's crazy talk. I mean, that's the same weight as one of those liquid. No, I guess the liquid fertilizer is 1,000. We've run into this problem before with this little skid steer. So the skid steer isn't going to work. That's kind of disappointing. But I'm just going to set these outside for now. But we'll switch that up. So hang on one second. Voila. Problem solved. Okay, so this guy has the ability to pick these pallets up without a problem. And then you just load them onto a trailer. Or if you have a close by sell point, you can just set them on the sell point. But for now, we're just going to pile these outside, because that's what any good company would do, is just store stuff out in the backyard. I think in-game I would make like a sheltered facility where I can stack them up, and then when they're ready to all go, I'd sell them. So the palletizer has stopped. We've started to make, it looks like, yeah, we've started making straw. You can see there's straw pallets right there, or straw pellets right there in their little baggie. But we ran out, so we didn't get a full pallet of those. We have a full pallet back here of our hay pellets, though, so we're going to go ahead and move those off. So once again, if you have one of these devices, you might as well just get a bucket for it and maybe a pair of hay bale forks and deliver the product that way. Doesn't that make more sense than using the crane? But I guess the crane is a cool feature, and you know somebody might be able to operate it quickly. But for me, this is just, it's easier and faster just to use this. I don't see what the benefit of having that. Though you know what? I wonder. Let's see something real quick here. Is that device for picking these up? Like, could you just back a trailer into here and then use that crane to load the trailer? Then you wouldn't need one of these. Oh, you gotta be kidding. All right, let's see if this works. It doesn't look like it's going to be tall enough. My thought was maybe this is what this is for. Because it seems like an awful heavy piece of equipment to carry a hay bale, but maybe. Let's see. Open it up more. Is that open all the way? That's open all the way. Oh, mate. You know what? I wonder. It looks like it might work. If we could get it to, once again, how much of a hassle are you willing to deal with to make this work? And then, nope, I want to go, nope, I want to go forward. Down. Back. Oh, my God. It's super touchy, too, so that doesn't help. All right, I'm going to close this up. Nope. Nope. All right, and then clamp it. Is that clamping on it? No, it should, though, but that looks like it will work. So hang on. Let me get it a little bit lined up better. And the hard thing is the camera perspective is not ideal. So, oh, frick's sake. Can I change the camera angle? There, that might work better. So first get it over the dang thing. Oh my God. And then change the camera angle so you can see where it's over it, and it needs to go more this way. And down. And then close it. Oh, come on. Close. Okay. So there's the answer. Yes, it can. And so that must be what that's for. So now we can raise and lower it and spin it, and we can take it off the assembly line, and somebody could pull a trailer back in here, a flatbed trailer. Now you'd have to get a mod, because right now the only trailer I have is that little one. And then you could load this onto the trailer from above, and that is really cool. Didn't know it had that, so that's pretty neat. So you actually could technically run this entire facility without having a front loader in here. Now I bought this because I like to use this, but you could get away with not using this in here. And boy, the crane actually makes it a little bit easier because there's not a ton of room in here. So taking this thing out and moving it away would actually be a benefit. So we now have the ability, and I don't remember that being in 17, but maybe it was. But we now have the ability to run the entire facility without actually having to have anything but something dropping stuff off. So you can have the tipper come in here with the bales and load them in and make the pellets. Yeah, cool. Okay. All right, so we're going to go to the next phase. We're going to get the Primos in here, and we're going to turn some bales into pellets, doing that method. So if you guys haven't seen that before, I'm sure, because I haven't done it. But I want to show you how to set that up. So this is really neat, and I think that's going to be a cool addition. We'll keep these over here for now, and then we'll put them onto our cart. So I'll be right back. So I am at the shop, and I've got my forklift, and we are going to grab this device. And this is you add this to the Primos on the side to chop bales into pellets. So we're going to grab that, and it's a pretty heavy device, but we're going to move this over here to our... And theoretically, we should be able to unload this with that crane. So we're going to take this over here, put this on here, and then we can load the pallet onto the trailer. Once again, you might want to consider downloading a mod trailer that's a little bit larger, because you're not going to be able to get a lot of pallets onto this little trailer, unless you're really good, which I'm not, but you might be. Push that over just a little. There we go. All right, so we've loaded this on here, and we're going to go ahead and tie that down. And we're going to go ahead and deliver this over to the facility. I'll be right back. Now, I think in this case, you know, I would like to be able to just load it out using the crane, but I think realistically I'm going to have to take that off the pallet with a machine. In real life, that crane would damage the box. It's not really meant to pick that up. So let's get over there with our front loader, and we'll bring this into the shop. And it's been a while since I've done this, so we're going to have to figure out how to get it in there. But I'll pull this off. Nope. Oh, the carriage. It's breaking free. We need to get this down on the ground so I can actually get it on there properly. Whoa! There we go. Now it's happy. So we're going to go ahead and get this in here. And I think, you know, I'm not sure which way it goes aside from that arrow might be telling us that's the end that it goes on, which means we have this thing completely backwards. So we'll have to. It's like real life when the engineers get stuff. They're like, they have to look it over first and go, how do we get this off? Great. Now I can't get it off the forks. Beautiful. Oh, Lord. There we go. Okay. And now my top is getting stuck. So we'll figure that out in a second. In the meanwhile, I'm going to load this on. Told you this was going to take a while. There's a lot to do and a lot to figure out. We're going to load this onto that cart, and then I'm going to bring that into the facility, and we'll load the pallet onto there. Well, we'll do that later. Here. Let's get this up here. And for now, we're just going to jerry-rig this onto here. Excuse me. Shut up. Okay. I'm going to move this, put that on there like this. Doink. Looks like we can fit maybe 6 of those on here if we're really good. Hey, move it. I'm going to move this over here like that, and then we're going to go ahead and bring the Primos into the shop. So let's go ahead and grab that. Okay, so I've got the Primos in the shop. And you can see here, if I get close enough to it, it's giving me the trigger to attach the bale shredder. That's going to go on there like that. Perfect. And now it's pretty narrow, so we could actually have done that outside and driven it in. The thing that we want to do is get this in a perfect position next to here so that our dispenser goes up into the bin. So we're going to put the dispenser out, our pipe. And that's going to go up over the bin. Yep, just like that. Yep. Oh, too much. So my question that I have is, once we have this set up with this big tractor, can we do this with a smaller tractor? If we're not, doing this, you know, running the Primos out in the field, can like a 150 horsepower tractor run the shredding operation without having to actually move the baler? Or will it tell us that there's not enough horsepower? All right, so that looks pretty good. It's not totally, well, it's not exactly where I want it, but it's not bad. Let's try one more time. There we go. Just like that. Good. Whoops. Okay, I'm against the wall. That's good. So now we need to grab, I think it's this, and unfold it. Yep, there we go. So that unfolds our bale shredder. And I believe the tractor needs to be running for this to work. Obviously, the power takeoff is going to deliver our bales. Okay, there we go. So there is our assembly line. Now, the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our trailer here that we've got set for loading, and we're going to bring this in and back it in next to our other Fendt tractor. So we'll try this the right way first, and then we're gonna actually hook this little tractor up to the Primos and see if we can't continue to actually run the device with the little tractor in place. That way you don't have to have a monster tractor to run the Primos, because the Primos, you know, that horsepower requirement makes it hard to get into this early, but this could actually help things out quite a bit. So I'm actually going to run that right here. There we go. Let's go ahead and get into the crane. And we're going to move this over. Whoops. And once again, perspective is everything, right? I'm going to lower this down. And I can't get it any lower there, so maybe here? Nope. No glitches. How do I turn the camera? Let's see. I'll go with that. Okay, so having this frustrating. Can we get this onto the trailer like this? Oh, no, stop. Okay. When you change your view, the controls get all reversed, and that's what's throwing me off. Okay, that's better. So from this angle, everything works the right way. All right, so we're going to have to undo the strap, which to me, that's asking for a disaster, but it's not going into the strap, so we're going to... down. Oh, Lord. This is not easy. It won't lower anymore. That's really weird. That's as low as it'll go. Am I over the top of this, though? No. So what if I do this? What about the front? It's too far forward. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Okay, so my thought on this is, as cool as that is, I think the front loader is still going to be a better way to load these on to a trailer. If you get really good with it, that's cool. I mean, obviously there's some kind of weird blockage thing going on that's not letting me put it right next to the other one, and this is just going to turn into a complete disaster. Whoops. And things have gone pear-shaped. So, yeah, I'm not real into that. That's annoying and tedious. So, let's go ahead and do a couple bales this way, but I think what's going to end up happening, the same thing's going to end up happening. We're going to end up probably just using a front loader to do all that. Maybe finding a heavier telehandler that can actually, you know, lift these things without dumping over would be good. Because this is just kind of tedious. All right, so we're trying to get that to go down and over. There we go. And we're going to grab and lift. And this is going to come over here. Wow. Now, this isn't so bad. So using the bales and stuff is not too bad. It's just getting the pallets onto the trailer nicely that doesn't work so good. And we're going to go ahead and loosen this. There we go. Oh, and I think we have to enable the harvester. That's right. So we're going to... There it goes. As you can see here, it's going to shred this. Slowly. Oh my gosh. 2.5 hours later. All right, it's starting to shred it. That's pretty cool. And there they go. The pellets are going into the machine. So that's how you do this. Now I wonder, does this have any additional instructions? pipe in. So there's no controls other than the basic controls. What does that do? Okay, so you can raise and lower this. So if you have it outside on unlevel ground, well, look, you can extend it too. That's cool. So if you want to do this outside, you can. I don't know why you would do it outside. The whole point's to do it in here. But yeah. So we'll go back to the way that we planned on doing it. I'm just going to park this over here. And there goes a pallet coming out there. So I'll show you how the Arthur way of doing it would work instead of the way that you're supposed to do it. We just use this cloth right here. Now I'm going to use forks, but I would have a set of, you know, bale forks to make it a little bit more realistic. But we're going to use this to pull those pallets out. And once again, if you could find a mod telehandler that's a little bit heavier that won't dump over with just 2,000 liters of simple straw pellets, because that's ridiculous, it probably would be a better system, because this is pretty large to fit in here. A telehandler would be perfect for this operation, except for whatever reason they can't do it. So now getting this turned over is going to be a real deal. Well, I'll work on this. I'll be back. All right. I'm just that good that I was able to flip it fairly easily. It only took about 10 minutes. So we're going to grab this guy and take him out, and we'll grab the other one and get it off the... But actually, we could leave it on the belt. You can get up to 3 pallets on the belt at a time before you have to clear the belt off. So, but right here, you can see this is the problem that we have. Even with the CSZ pack, I'm still having trouble with these pallets. And this is a problem that has transferred over from 17. Not really necessarily the people that made Straw Harvest's fault. It is an issue with the physics that Giants has given us, and it just makes pallets hard to work with. Unless you get the forks under there perfectly, there's issues. There we go. We got it. I've gotten a little bit better at getting them under there, quote unquote, perfectly, but I'm still a ways off from doing it every time. So, and I'm not going to be able to do this. It's too close to the building. So once again, if you can find a heavier duty telehandler in the mod hub, you might want to go that route, or something with weights on the back to keep it from flipping, because the skid loaders, because the skid loaders and the skid steers are small and they're easy. It's easy to fit them in to small spaces, so they would work better in that factory setting, because it is pretty narrow in there. So. I'll see what I can do about finding one, and if I do find one in a timely manner, I'll put it into the video so you guys can see which one I'm using. But the ones that I have right now are too light. There we go. So let's head back into the factory with this, and we're gonna use these pallet forks to pick up straw bales. But if you want to play if you want to play it like how it should be done. You would probably want to actually use a straw fork, like a pokers. This is not, how you're going to really do it, but this is how we're going to do it, because for brevity's sake. Or you could use that, once again, you could use that ceiling crane. Wasn't too bad for this part. So if you want to use this for the ceiling crane, what? It wanted to suck it off, but it killed it instead. Screwed. It's trying to pull it off so that it's on the belt properly, which, let's see what it does. Yeah, it's straightening it out. Perfect. Good. So you could do it this way too. Once again, a telehandler or a skid steer would be much better suited to doing this, but it doesn't hurt to use the crane either. Like we said, the crane is, once you get used to the crane controls, it'd be pretty quick to do it with the... Whoa! That wasn't me, was it? No, I'm too far away. That just... Well, it put it on there the way it wanted it, that's for sure. I don't know what you're going to do if you have 2 bales on there. Did you guys see that? Pretty funny. So we'll let it grind these 2 bales. Then I'm going to hook up our little Fendt tractor and see if that what that does for us. If it's able to shred, or if it's not. There we go. So that came off supposedly where it's going to go. Let's watch it and see if it flips out again. So that's the Arthur way of doing it. The Arthur way is not necessarily the right way, but I think that's going to flip. It looks like it's getting stuck. Is that grinding? Not yet. There we go. Now, I like the way they cheat. They shrink the bale. I don't know if you guys are seeing that. The bale is shrinking down. That's how they make it disappear, but it's not. I don't think it would really do that, but maybe it does. No, it doesn't. So it seems like hand loading it on here doesn't really work too well. Look at that other bale is still kind of jammed in there and it's not going in. It's like stuck. Nope. So in this case, it might definitely be better to use the crane. Let's see if it needs our help or if it'll go in. No, it's going now. It's good now. So, yep, I would say use the crane to unload the bales. And what I would do too is, we're gonna sell these pellets first, and then I want to show you something. So I'll be right back. So we're on our way to the pallet sell point. Let's see how this works. We should be able to just drive over it, but we might have to... Nope, they're going to have to be unloaded physically. That kind of sucks. So you're going to have to bring something that you maybe a tractor with a front loader when you go to your sell point. That's a little annoying. Or you could just put the sell point right next to the factory, but that sucks. Arrgh. Trying to see if I can dump them off. Yeah, there we go. And they're not selling. Oh, go figure. So do these really have to be right side up for you to be able to sell them? You should just sell. What I'm noticing, though, is there's not a separate price for palletized versus non-palletized, so maybe it's not even worth... I don't know. Well, there we go. Okay, so $2,900 for our hay pallet. And once again, you're getting it from free materials, so you're making a decent amount of money here. Is it really that much better than selling the straw and hay? Probably. But there we go. So once again, $2,900. There we go. So it has to be upright. So then we're going to take this around, and I'm going to show you what I was thinking. I've already noticed there's a problem going on in the factory in that straw bale did get jammed. It is not loading into the harvester, so we're going to have to adjust that too. But I'm thinking over here we could do this. All right, so we're going to take these into the factory using our... This is a great way to load these onto the tipper, or the trailer, I mean. See there, we can grab this and put that down. And grab them, and then pick up 3 at a time. We just made a big mess on the other side there, but that's okay. Nobody cares. So once again, if you're using the crone square baler and doing the 3 at a time, you could load these on the trailer. And this is why I like this thing. Look how easy that is. You just load them right on and then dump them right off. There we go. And of course I left that right in the way. Pick this up right here. Grab these 3. Now, unfortunately, with that baler, whoa, too heavy. That baler leaves it 1 extra bale, so we're going to have to deal with that single bale at some point. But anyway, you get the idea. And this front loader might not be heavy enough for this. Wow, we're really having a hard time picking these up. So once again, this might be a job better suited for a tractor with a weight on the back or a heavier telehandler. Because obviously we're having some issues, so there we go. Can get it one more high. Nah, let's just take those in. That's good. So we can take these in and load those up like that. And let's see how our loader, that bale is still stuck. Yep, it's still stuck. Whoa. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need the crane to undo that. All right. Because realism is key. All right. So we're going to take those all off. There we go. Shut that tractor off so we're not poisoning ourselves. We're going to get on the crane here. And that thing's all jammed in there, so that's bad. So we're going to go in here and come from the other side because the crane controls make sense from here. And we're going to try to lower that and grip it. There we go. All right. And lift it. Okay. Oh, okay. There we go. You're able to do it. This goes back here. It pivots. Now, so here's where we have some more precision going on. This gives us actually a little more precision than doing it with the forklift. Hopefully being able to get it into place the right way. Lift it a little bit. Turn it. And then we're going to unleash it. There we go. That should work. And we're going to raise that back up and come over here and grab our first bale off the trailer. So this crane actually does work really well for this application here. Now we're going to kind of grab. But it won't go down any. See, that's the weird part. I can't get it to lower anymore. It'll go up, but it won't lower. There we go. So it's still a little buggy. I don't know. This is annoying. So really, honestly, the best way to do these pallets, obviously, is the first way that we did it, and that was to just make the pellets out in the field, and then come back in here and dump them. And oh, this isn't going to work. Wow. That's really irritating. So I guess that's just, I'm not sure how we're going to handle that. And look, that's getting jammed again. Wow. Wow. So just bug after bug. Yeah, so that's what we're dealing with this. So I would say this does not work very well, and let's just leave it at that. So don't bother with this setup, to be honest with you. I was going to try to see how it does with the smaller Fendt, but why bother? Because this isn't working well. So we'll just leave that. But that's how that works anyway, so you got to see it kind of sort of work. Not worth it. Really what you're going to do is you're going to take this Primos out into the field. You're going to make these pellets, dump them in here, and then just use a front loader to dump them into there. You don't even have to use the crane. Yeah, so I'm kind of disappointed that that didn't work very well. Oh, now it's actually going to go. There we go. Finally, it's going. Go figure. But it kind of works. But anyway, it's a little bit hit and miss, it looks like. It's not really doing it the way it's supposed to. This is a lot of things not working super well, and a lot of places for things to go wrong. If you get irritated easily like I do, you might want to just, well, once again, make the pellets in the field, use a front loader. That's how I always did it in 17. I never used the crane, and I never used that bale attachment. It's much easier just to go out in the field and process the pellets in the field. So hopefully that helps you guys. But it was fun taking a look at this. I mean, we pretty much got everything done that we wanted to get done. We've made both kinds of pellets. We've done a sale. I kind of wanted to show you through the whole thing. So you've seen how it works. But once again, I feel like this is the best way that it's going to work. And then just getting the, using a front loader or a telehandler to dump it into here is the best way to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed looking at the straw harvest. Is it worth it? Well, it's free, so yes. And even if it was a payware thing, I'd say, yeah, it still would be worth it because it's really well done, except for this broken part, or not working great part. But, yeah, it's a lot of fun to use, and it definitely adds a whole new industry into Farm Sim. So download it today. Once again, it's in the Mod Hub. Hope you enjoyed this review/tutorial. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye.